Hi, I'm Brian Paul, and I'm come to take over.
No, viewer takeover.
Viewer takeover.
This is Viewer Takeover. We film every Monday night. We bring it to YouTube every Tuesday, sometime, morning, afternoon, night, Wednesday, possibly. Anything is possible on this channel, and sometimes nothing is possible. My name's Brian Paul from Without Parole. This channel right here, and these guys to my right, your right, Dave from Dave Station VR Illuminati Master. You think we can?
I don't know why this is a thing now.
Can we make it a thing? Is that okay?
I don't know. What do I need?
Isn't that's what the Illuminati does? Don't you have to like do like this?
I thought it was the triangle thing, right?
The thing on the dollar bill. It's the thing on the dollar bill, right?
Oh, right.
I mean, I should know this. I'm just playing dumb because I don't want people to know that I'm really Illuminati. Is what I'm saying. So yeah, sure. I hope you're all having a great, normal civilian day.
Nothing's normal about any day around here. And that guy to the far right of the screen is AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
We are all slaves to a giant machine, David. We are not civilians. We are just meat bags ready to be consumed and used as energy cells. And why do you always say PSVR or Underground PSVR? What's wrong with you?
I say from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
Okay.
It sounds better. I'm trying to give you
I just want to make sure you know.
Introduction.
I just want to make sure you know what the name is.
You say on your channel you call them Underground Reviews. You don't even say PSVR Underground Reviews.
I've been meaning to tell you. You need to put PSVR in the title.
Dude, he doesn't listen to anybody. Stop telling him what to do.
I won't do that.
Also, your thumbnails suck.
Why would you not do that?
It's an homage to. I know maybe not.
It's an homage to people who don't want more subscribers.
It's an homage to people who don't give a fuck what it's an homage to.
I'm a big fan of Angry Joe, and I love how he calls his things angry reviews. So it's kind of like, I took inspiration from that.
Did he do a Half-Life Alyx review and not put the word VR in the title?
I don't know. He just says half. He probably just said Half-Life Alyx angry review.
And every week on Viewer Takeover, we like to thank a whole lot of people. And the first person we want to thank this week is Joshua, the Scientist Game Cat, aka Donatello, the Scientist Game Cat, and also David, son of Scientist Game Cat, for that awesome Viewer Takeover introduction.
Oh yeah,
I loved it. I loved it. But in the email that I got from Donatello, he said, "Can you guess what game David is playing?" And I've been racking my brain for the last 20 minutes, like listening, like putting my headphones like really, really close, trying to turn up the sound, watching his motions, trying to figure out what game he's been playing. And so I want to pose this question to the comment section and say, what game do you think that David's playing in that video? And the first person to get it right, hey, maybe we'll give you a prize.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is that I've heard those cheap sounding guns before.
Yeah, and then that's the main hint, but I can't tell where because it's probably like a reused.
There's another noise. There's another noise in there too.
Yeah.
Listen closer.
Listen closely. Leave the comment, and I don't have any promises as to what the prize will be, but I'll figure something out for sure.
We don't even know what the answer is, so
no.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I will say thank you guys so much for submitting all these awesome Viewer Takeover introductions. If you want to be on next week's show, well, you've got a little bit of wait, but make sure you send it to get in the queue to withoutparole@gmail.com. You don't have to do anything fancy, man. Just show us your face. Say, hey, my name's Brian Paul, and I'm coming for you all.
I'm taking over.
I need to rewatch that because I forget exactly what he said. Is that what it was? But we also want to thank these people. These people down here
in the underground.
And they're like
the surface.
They're the cream that rises to the top of the underground.
The top of the bottom of the screen. I gotcha.
That's right. Those are the loyal Patreon supporters. These are the ones who went to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
And they're the ones giving us $1 or more every single month. They're the ones keeping the channel running. Also, obviously you guys with the donations keep the channel running, and just watching the ads on the channel keep everything running. But man, really support. I really support you because you support me. That didn't come out the way I wanted to at all. So thank you. If you want to support the channel, patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games. That's not the only people want to thank now, is it, Brian?
Not the only people we want to thank. AJ, who else do we want to thank this week?
Brian, Dave, Game Cats. We would like to thank those who changed their name to something Game Cat adjacent, as Brian likes to say. Starting with Whitticus, that one Game Cat.
Ooh, tone shift there. Okay, I'm ready. I'm on board. It's a roller coaster.
Whitticus. I feel like I almost wish there was something that rhymed like Whitticus, the abacus, the one Game Cat. Abacus is not fun, but Whitticus. I got nothing.
Whitticus has a story, man. We got to talk to him for the first time. He got rid of his PSVR like a year ago or something, and then bought another one recently, and then immediately joined our community. Now he's been joining our Saints and Sinners multiplayer sessions where we all just play Saints and Sinners separately.
Oh, yeah.
But we all get in a party chat and we give each other tips and like help each other out and just have fun.
Yeah,
you randomly hear somebody go and like freak out. And it's really funny.
Yeah, they sound like a lot of fun.
Happening.
No one has invited me to one yet. You all
Well,
suck.
Brian, tonight's the night, man. Get in here.
I'm sorry, I'm busy. All right, who else do we got?
All right.
We've also got, I love this name, Amplify the Game Cat. Amplify. Brian think it's Superfly.
Yeah,
There he is.
except without the fly.
I want to
the
introduce
Jimmy
you.
Superfly Snooketh or whatever.
Can I introduce a new segment, an honorable mention segment?
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't a recent name change, but it's a story about a historical name change that I thought was pretty good. Somebody told us in the Discord. So Joe Mello, the death metal game cat, I think,
Death Metal.
he changed his Google name, which is your YouTube name, to Joe Mello, the death metal game cat. And then he said he had to send a very important document to like an archpriest, and like he was sending an email replies to his kids' homework from his teacher and stuff. And they were like, "What's your name? What is that about? What is a game cat? What is what?"
Right.
I didn't know
Do we
you
need to
were
call
weird.
it DSS?
It's actually like the death metal game dog now or something like that.
Oh, okay,
Hound,
yeah.
I think, right?
Game
Everyone
Hound,
he was like
something like that.
professionally, personally, whatever interacting with was seeing him as that in all his email correspondence, which I think is fucking hilarious.
Joe's my dude, man. He's in a death metal band called Angel Crypt, and I love these guys, man. These guys are awesome.
Nice.
And they have a new album coming out, and I cannot wait. It sounds so good.
Sweet.
I can't wait.
Fantastic. All right, guys, but what do we really do here?
We like
Take it.
to take the questions from the peoples and answer them accordingly.
All right, and two ways you can do that. First way you can do it is by leaving a comment on any of our videos with the hashtag #ViewerTakeover, all one word. We'll find it because we search for it, and then it pops up. Good stuff. But the other way you can do it, and this is a way better way to do it, is by joining our Discord. The link is in the description of this video. Click that link, join our Discord, be part of the ongoing conversation, and then leave your Viewer Takeover comment in the Viewer Takeover channel on our Discord. It's super simple. The first question comes to us from Billy Pod, the Game Cat, rare from PSVR.
Oh, the old reliable, our friend Billy Paw.
Yeah, man, he's going to make everyone have to step up here. He writes, has Saints and Sinners upped the ante on PSVR games to an impossible degree? It's reasonably priced, full-featured, and practically perfect, making most other games in the library seem too short or too expensive. How will Saints and Sinners affect your thoughts on future game releases? Hashtag Viewer Takeover. What do we think?
I don't know about an impossible degree. I think that, people got to be reasonable and say, hey, of course there's going to be a best game and a game that is better in almost every way than all the other games that we have. But not every game can be that game.
Yeah,
And
not
nobody
every
wants-
game can be Resident Evil 7.
Well, we'll talk about that in a few months.
Okay,
Right.
No, we will.
But I think, at some point, even though this is a great game, people want to play different stuff. It can't be the only game you play forever. So there's still going to be stuff that gets people's attention. And, it may not be like Gorn is no Saints and Sinners, but it might be fun. I'm not too worried about people losing hype for future releases just because this is so good. I will say they're going to get compared. Like, this is a new bar as far as like what people will want out of you because they've seen what's possible now. But I think it's not like people are going to revolt and say, I'm not buying these games anymore because they're not all Saints and Sinners. So.
Yeah, I think the price point for me specifically was kind of the biggest takeaway from this question. For $40, if you ignore the tourist edition, the base game is $40.
Yeah.
And if you look on the store and you see all the other things that come close to that price range, it's kind of insane. Like, I mean, how do you even compare some of these games to Saints and Sinners? I think moving forward, people should maybe be exploring a little bit more of the pricing structure, pricing scale. $20 games, maybe consider that maybe it should be a $15 game, which in all fairness would make your game sell faster anyway. But yeah, for $40 just to get a full-featured, full-fledged game, like first time through 15 hours, right? I mean, that alone was awesome. But then playing through again, experimenting different things, trying to get the platinum trophy, I'm like, there's a ton of shit to do here for $40. So
absolutely, yeah.
So that price makes me go, oh look, Blind Spot, $30. Geez, that seems way worse than it did before.
Well, I mean, it's really one of the only games that is reasonably priced at $40. Everything else that was $40, Arizona Sunshine was way too expensive when it came out. I mean, I like Tetris Effect, but people flipped shit when it was $40. Yeah. There's a lot of pretty decent games that were just too expensive. Archangel from the same studio actually was $39.99.
That's true.
And it was just too much. But it's rare to see one that actually hits the mark. And really, I feel like we got a deal here. Like you said, I mean, I've spent as much time playing this as I spent on FF7 Remake, and that's a full ass RPG that cost me $60.
Right. Right.
I looked at games the same way even before Saints and Sinners came out. It wasn't like all this does is make me praise Saints and Sinners more. But yeah, I want different kinds of gameplay and different types of experiences. That's the beauty of this whole VR thing is there's so much that hasn't been done yet. So yeah, it's always the most exciting when somebody hasn't when you get something that has yet to be done. That's of course, in my opinion, stuff like Saints and Sinners is what the mainstream is what's going to push it closer to being like more mainstream. And I think a lot can be taken from Saints and Sinners and be considered like what the standard should be. We've gotten things like Skyrim and stuff, and that that had like the length aspect of it. But in terms of like being built from the ground up in VR and being a long game and having a great experience, I like, again, it's not going to make me come down harder on other games because this is already something that I wanted. So I'm really just going to stick to just praising Saints and Sinners and enjoying my other experiences and gameplay games for what they are.
So this doesn't make you come down harder on Grounding for pricing Space Channel 5 at the exact same price?
I was already pretty hard on that game for the price, like, because I love that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, 45 minutes is absolutely unacceptable for
ridiculous.
$40. That is absolutely unacceptable. A horrible, horrible decision. And I said that from the beginning. But that doesn't mean that I didn't have fun playing it. And I still play it.
Yeah.
So, my different mileage will vary.
It's true. I mean, that game should have been $15 in that, and then Saints and Sinners just kind of reinforces that idea big time.
Yeah.
So I think it's just good. I think it's just good for PSVR. I think it says, hey, here's a game that did everything right, and we priced it appropriately, and we're not gouging the consumer, and like just hopefully moving forward, this will be kind of like that new high bar that people aim for. Be like, oh man, like we can't put our game out in its current state. Look at what Saints and Sinners did, or we can't put our game out at the price we want it to. Look at what Saints and Sinners did.
Well, but on the flip side, devs are notorious for not paying attention to what other games are out there and what's going on in the market. So they kind of get in their little bubble, and they probably, I mean, some people will take that into consideration. Maybe people with like teams that think about stuff like that, or somebody who knows market research, but like a 3-person dev team, that might not even pop into their head. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I just hope that from this, I would understand if they weren't paying attention to some other games, if no one was like, hey, Down the Rabbit Hole did this, we should pay attention. But for this game to be, I mean, easily,
you should know it. Yeah,
it's potentially the game of the year for PSVR gamers right now. We'll see how that happens when we get Sniper Elite VR, when we get Iron Man VR. We'll see how that all pans out. But if you're developing a PlayStation VR game right now and you're not paying attention to Saints and Sinners, like, I understand you're not paying attention to other games. Yeah. You need to pay attention to this game.
For sure. Absolutely. Don't play yourself. You played yourself.
Played yourself. All right.
Another one. Next question.
This
comes from Noah Person on the Discord. He says, hashtag viewer takeover. Now that you have finished Saints and Sinners, what sort of content would you hope for in future DLC? I got a quick one right off the top of my head for this because people have talked about permadeath mode, and I feel like given the way that the game is structured right now, I don't know that I'd love it that much because like if it's the same missions every time, I'm just doing the same run over and over again trying to perfect it. If they created a few randomized missions that just took place in various areas, even if there's something as simple as like a fetch quest or just help this person, whatever, that could make it more like a roguelite kind of thing where you've got all the areas and there's different stuff going on, but you're just kind of remixing different scenarios in different areas. And you can play indefinitely like that until you die, but it's permadeath. So like a roguelite mode, basically. Something like that would be really fun.
I'm gonna say when you start this game off, like the first town you go to when you first enter the Shallows, you find this woman who's like, "Hey, there's a blue building over there, blue mansion, and here's a little side story, and here's this thing that you can do whatever way you want to," and it sort of set me up. It set me up for a little bit of a disappointment when I was like, "Oh, this is the very first thing you do in the game," and there's not a whole lot more of that. So like having more NPCs scattered around the world that take advantage of the areas a little bit more. There's a whole school that doesn't get utilized. There's a whole building, and the school is gigantic.
It is huge.
The level where you go to with the auditorium, is that? I keep wanting to say Rampart. That doesn't sound right.
It's Rampart.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
Rampart. The gymnasium.
Yeah, so you go to the gymnasium, and then you run out of time. You're out of there, and you never have to utilize that area again. But if you go back, there's a whole school there, like a whole school, and it just seems ripe for, a ton more content.
Yeah, I mean, they did, not to be too spoilery, but there's something worth looking for in that school that people may miss. So go explore it anyways, even though you don't have to.
Yeah.
There's still something in there.
Yeah, I was absolutely shocked when they didn't utilize that better. But yeah, I think I found what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding, let's go.
Snowboarding.
Yeah, where the fuck are our jetpacks? I want jetpack DLC.
Snowboarding, jetpacks. No. I've heard a lot of people say they want multiplayer, but personally I'm like, well, that's probably what, obviously that's what Onslaught's going to be. So you're not going to really need it for this. I could say that I would like to see like more weapons, more areas, obvious stuff like that. Even maybe like just additional, kind of like what Brian said, which is like more NPCs to have like, there's some really cool stories with some of these NPCs. So it would be cool to form a couple new relationships, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, guys, I gave this game a 10 out of 10 for a reason, because there's nothing that like I'm like desire. Like there's nothing I'm like, man, I wish they had that.
I gave it a 10 out of 10, and I was like, but now I want more of what made it so good.
Yeah, I would, and that's what I meant. Like, I just more of that would be cool, but I don't feel like, at least right now, it hasn't hit me yet, because it's still so fresh. At this time, I don't need anything else right now. I'm still playing the game. I'm still enjoying it. So yeah, I mean, it's just a great game.
I like the idea of multiplayer. I know a lot of people have suggested that for DLC or for a future update. I just think that's a little bit of a tough ask. This game wasn't designed with that in mind. I'm always shocked when people are able to add multiplayer to a game that didn't have it at launch, but I don't know if that's realistic and a realistic thing to ask of these guys. I think asking for a new area of town might be interesting. Like, give me a new area to explore. And again, that might get into the paid DLC territory, which at this point I'm totally fine with paying for DLC.
Some seasonal DLC could be cool, like a Halloween update, Christmas update, snowy level.
Yeah, they should make the game scary for Halloween.
Yeah. More scary.
Ooh, I just had a cool idea.
Ooh.
They could have a special mission, special mode or something where you're just on the boat cruising down the river, and it's like Dick Wild. It's like a shooter. You've got zombies coming for you in the water. Like in that first scene at the beginning when they drag you down and they pull your boat down and stuff.
I love that part. Oh,
it's a great scene. If that was like a stage and you could actually pull your gun out and shoot zombies, that would be fun as hell. I don't foresee that happening. That's like a crazy. They're not going to do that, but
yeah, anything's possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just for the record, they have confirmed that they are working on additional content at this time. So we'll have to wait and see what that is.
Yeah, I think
They also confirmed that the PSVR has content that isn't in the PC version yet.
Right.
Yeah, I was thrilled to discover some of that. That blew
Yeah,
my
don't
mind.
spoil that, though.
That was a huge surprise when that shit happened.
Not going to spoil anything. I would say the easiest. I think the easiest thing to add would be just more things to craft. Like give me a reason to keep going back to the towns and give me more safes to find the combinations for, more recipes to unlock, and just more items to craft at those tables. Give me a reason to keep upgrading those benches.
Ooh, last thing that popped into my head.
I like the pops.
On PC, in the PC version, when you get the Tourist Edition, you get the soundtrack with it. I don't know that you get that on PSN. I didn't see that in the listing. But it'd be cool if you had like a little radio you could carry with you and just like pick a song from the soundtrack after you beat the game and just like go around jamming to whatever you want to.
That music is horrifying, though. Why would you want to listen to that?
You know.
Just go hang out and let
guy.
the clock tower start ringing. And like, I would not want to listen to that all day. I'd fucking have nightmares.
Well, maybe they could put in some fun songs that you could just.
God, it's like my heart racing just thinking about it.
That's the update I want. Put fun songs in the game so it's
Fun
delightful
songs.
and not scary or anything like that.
Okay,
All right.
but only if Thriller's one of the songs and all the zombies dance when you turn it on.
As long there has to be at least one walking down in like a that orange jacket, red jacket.
Totally. No
all right.
copyright infringements there. AJ, who sent us the last question?
Speaking of who, Brian, who writes in from PSVR Gamescast Live, says #viewer takeover. You invite 3 friends to show off PSVR 90 to 120 minutes. How would you pull it off? Friend 1 plays game A, 2 plays B, versus 1 versus 3 all play A, etc. What games/demos, kitchen in parentheses, in what order? How would you do it in this time frame?
This is a tough question. This is a tough,
It's not
really
that tough because I've done it several
Yeah.
times.
I'm
A
just gonna
lot of
speak from
people when they
experience.
used to come over, I would always put them. I would always put them into Rush of Blood first, and they absolutely love Rush of Blood. Then I'd put them into Gran Turismo Sport with my T150 Pro, the Thrustmaster T150 Pro wheel, which is right here to my right, and I love it dearly. And then I let them play the Star Wars X-Wing experience, and then I let them play Servios's Creed. And that's pretty much what I did. Now, a couple people have varying tastes. So some people, maybe I would swap some of those for like Moss or the Ocean Descent, something like that. But that's about what I would show off to people.
That's a much different take than because it says 3 friends specifically. A lot of those games seem like something I'd put someone in if just one of them was over. If it was just me and one friend hanging out. Because like if there's 2 other people just sitting watching this guy learn how to play Gran Turismo, learn how to play Creed, and you got to wait and take turns and all that stuff. What I tend to do in a situation like with 3 other people, that's almost a small party. So you bust out like the Electronauts, the Beat Saber, the stuff that's really quick and simple. Pop someone in and you turn up the speakers and blast it on the subwoofer and shit. So it's like they're DJing the party that we're at together. And people really enjoy that. It's very simple. And Beat Saber is just fun to watch. And in my experience, people like to challenge each other. Like I had a friend who from the start could play stuff on hard. And everybody else was like, how the fuck are you able to do that? Like, you're crazy. And so there was this rivalry going on, people trying to challenge him and stuff. Even though they had just started playing and it was that simple to pick up and know what you were doing. And it's just, fun for everybody. You're hearing music. There's a cool thing on the screen. Just feels like a party at that point. And I feel like people get into it that way pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down 3 things. I wrote down 3 different games. I think I would just, I would start everybody off with Beat Saber. Say, like, listen, here's a song. You play it on normal, whatever. Just to give you the idea, get you acclimated to VR. You don't have to move around. Here's your move controllers. Here's how everything works. It's self-explanatory for the most part. And any time I've ever shown somebody Beat Saber, I don't get my headset back for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just play. I'm going to be in this room over here editing. You just go ahead, have fun. I've had dates go horribly wrong because that's what they focused on. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have shown you VR on our first date. But so Beat Saber for sure, get everyone in Beat Saber, then you let everyone try Super Hot, so you can be like, okay, now we're gonna take another step forward. You're gonna be like more interactive, and like showing people like what how immersive it can be. But then of course we're gonna end with Resident Evil 7, just because I want to freak everyone the fuck out before they leave and go, wow, look how fucking realistic this can be. Look how this can actually affect your mood, your feelings, and actually make you scared to move forward in the game. Like I put everybody at the very beginning of the game, make them walk through the woods, be like, oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah, okay, whatever. And then the second you have to walk into that house and it's pitch black before the flashlight goes on, that is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in a video game. It's just like, I don't want to go in here, and just watching the reaction, maybe not even let people watch each other play that section and then make them do it one by one. It's sadistic, but it's also like, I think super effective to be like, this is the power of VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that does it for another episode of Viewer Takeover. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and answering questions from the cats. Guys, make sure if you want to ask a question on next week's show, join our Discord server by clicking that link in the description and leaving your question in the Viewer Takeover channel, or just leave a hashtag Viewer Takeover tag on any of our videos. Leave a comment there with your question. Make sure you hit us up on patreon.com/withoutparole. $1 more every month if you like what you see. And of course, finally, send your Viewer Takeover introductions to withoutparole@gmail.com. Keep them short. Keep them simple. Keep them sexy. Whoa. That was pretty sexy over there yourself.
He told us before the show he was going to be sultry this time. He did it for a little bit at the beginning there where you were
I couldn't.
Here's the first question.
Per usual, he lost focus.
Oh yeah, we're gonna slow things down.
Rather not.
Glass of
Imagine
wine.
you're in a very comfy
Favorite easy chair.
fireplace is roasting.
And of course, if you haven't already, guess what game David's playing in the introduction? I'm very curious to see some of these answers.
Yeah.
I think we all have some thoughts about what this might be, but
Tell them what we think or no.
yeah, I don't want to. I told AJ, and it basically ruined him. He was like, "Well, now I can't think of anything else." So
Ruined my whole day.
I don't want to ruin any of the comments. So I'm not gonna give you my guess because it's possibly right, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But you guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, AJ. My name is Brian. This was Viewer Takeover, and we're out. I'd wear that guy's Will t-shirt.